So we were talking about the ways of different ways of answering questions. First thing we established is don't just accept the question. If there's something wrong with the question, fix it first. Don't start proceeding based on that premises. That's the first thing. First technique we discussed, you flip the question around, get them to think about it. So the last one we were doing, is people ask you, and this happens many times, why do bad things happen to good people? Their argument is that if someone's good, nothing bad should happen to them. So realistically, all you have to do is get them to extend that argument further. Push that argument, get them to push it, and they'll see that it's just, they're asking for an impossible world. They're asking for a euphoria where nothing goes wrong, nobody slips and falls, and no one gets hurt or scratched or cut. So that's Jannah, that's later. They're asking for Jannah right now. When you push the argument, they get to realize what's wrong with it. So like some of you reversed it, why do good things happen to bad people? The guy's a criminal and stuff, and good things happening for him. Robs a bank, gets away with it, and spends the cash, and that's something good, according to them. It shouldn't happen to him. Or you flip it around and just ask them, how much intervention do you want? Every time something bad's about to happen, you want God to intervene. Protect this person and stop that from happening, stop that from happening. Again, that's Jannah, that's later. You're asking for Jannah on earth then. So you flip the argument around. Page 63, another way of answering questions, another technique is that you use facts. And we all do this, it's not like we're learning anything new. And a lot of times, what we do in this course is we unlearn the wrong way of giving da'wah. We unlearn the wrong way of giving da'wah. Many ways that we think that this is how you give da'wah. We find out that no, it's not the best way actually. So, you use facts. So many statements are factually and historically inaccurate. So you use the facts to refute claims and answer questions. So for example, on page 63, the first one says that more people die because of religion than anything else on earth. How many times have you heard that? You heard that before? Many times non-Muslims say that to you. And you're at a da'wah table and someone tells you, no, sorry, I don't talk about religion because religion is responsible for more death than anything else. And how do you refute that? Naam? Yeah, you use facts. Yeah, it's inaccurate. So you start looking at wars around the world and throughout history, and then you start to see that first of all, the majority of them were not about religion, or they were about, money, taking over people's land. And even those that are about religion, it wasn't just about religion. They brought religion in as one of the factors. So, World War I, how many people died? 25 million. World War II? 50, some estimates go as high as 60-some million, and this was just one war, and it didn't really have much to do with religion. There was some ideology involved, but it wasn't a religion. So what about all the other wars, the Prussian wars, the 100 Years' War, all these civil wars, millions of people dying, just Napoleon, how many, he got 1 million of his own people, just his own soldiers, not counting those that they killed. Just 1 million of his own men died. What was he doing? What was that all about? It wasn't about religion. Go up to the Alps, it gets too cold, it goes to Egypt for the summer. And so, when you do the math, more people die because of land and money than anything else. So that means that next time that person has a job interview, and they ask him, how much would you like to be making? He should stop the interviewer and say, sorry, I don't talk about money. More people die because of money than anything else on earth. Yeah? So it's actually not true. B, why do you cut off the hand of the thief? And this is as a ruling, maybe it's not being practiced too much now. One time I saw some kind of interfaith thing on television. It was basically really an opportunity to gang up on the Muslim. So they brought some girl from university, young girl. They put her on this panel, and everybody turned on her. You guys cut off the hand of the thief, and that's barbaric, and how dare you. And so she started to immediately apologize. She said, we don't do that anymore, only one country's doing it. And you should have just added, InshaAllah, they'll stop soon. So, how can you use facts here? Using some facts or any incident, anything.
Number of prison and the number of people in the prison.
Excellent. Excellent. Excuse me. So here now we can use facts. So they're assuming that prison is better than this. the Sharia prescribed punishment. So if someone steals, you put him in jail. But then there are many problems with that. Many problems with that. For one, if somebody steals something and you put him in jail, you're not just punishing him. You're punishing a number of people, right? If that person's married, you're punishing his wife, or maybe you're giving her a treat, depending on. All right, sisters? So, you're punishing the wife, the parents, the children. All these people are not going to see this individual anymore. Then they go to jail, and then they're treated really, really badly there. And then you can look at other statistics. For example, like 82% of people who leave prison, they return. So that means it doesn't rehabilitate. It's very bad. Yeah. Actually, one time a friend of mine, he used to give a halaqah at the prison. So one time he asked the prisoners, he said, who in here would rather have their hand cut off today and be with their family tomorrow? What do you think is of the percentage of people who put their hands up? What do you think? Every single one of them. 100% of them put their hands up. Yeah, take it off. I want to be with my family tomorrow. This place is a nightmare. But they don't even get the prescribed punishment. Someone stole and the judge says, your punishment is that you're kept away from society for 15 years. But is that the only punishment that he gets? No. He's beaten, he's attacked, he's insulted, and it's legal to beat him up really bad and stuff. All these things, we're talking about human rights and all this is happening here. And so it has become a big business, since the 80s, spending on public schools and on education has increased by 74% since the 80s until now. But on prisons, 314%. So it's business. And these people go and they come back again, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. So the cutting off the hand of the thief, it's a deterrent, and it works. For decades in Islamic history, there were only 6 hands that were cut. Just 6. Just 6 hands that were cut. Compared to, now if you want to use statistics, every 16 seconds, a car is stolen. Every 18 seconds, a house is broken into. Every 6 seconds, a woman is assaulted. We're talking about seconds now. Seconds. Versus, 70 years, 100 years of 6 hands being cut only. And by the way, the Sharia is not bloodthirsty. A lot of people, even Muslims, they imagine that the Sharia, like the state, wants blood. Like that's how it operates. Remember, as a kid, there was this movie. This guy goes to Turkey and he steals an orange. And they capture him. And they bring him to this place in the market where all these people are just standing around and they're cheering as people's hands get cut off. Like these are just regular Muslims. They're just standing there. And then, the camera cuts away and you just hear hand being cut. And all these Muslims go, ah! They're so happy. Like, is this a Muslim state? People just want to see blood. Like, hey, you free? Let's go watch some hands being cut off. Yeah, let's go. We go and just like, yes! And they're so happy that the hand was cut. And plus, do you cut off the hand for an orange in Islam? It's just all inaccurate. The Islamic State is not bloodthirsty, yeah? And when you look at the rulings for zina and things like that, the idea isn't to try to get people punished. And even if you look at the stipulations for establishing proof that someone has committed zina, they're very difficult. Yeah? Like 4 witnesses, and these witnesses have to have seen something very, very specific. Not just movement, but very specific. They have to have seen Pennsylvania and Virginia. You understand? And then they have to be 4 upright and righteous individuals. Like you're going to find 4 mashayikh or where are you going to find this? It doesn't happen like that. So the idea isn't to try to just get people. The Muslim state isn't out to get people. Right? You know the story of the woman who committed zina. She came to the Prophet and he turned, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he turned from her. She came again, he turned this side. Or the man who came to the Prophet, he says, I committed zina. Prophet turned away from him. He came from the other side. One more time, Prophet turned away from him. The 3rd time, Prophet turned away from him. Then he asked him, Abika junoon, are you crazy? Do you have any mental issues? And he asked his people, his tribe, about him. In one narration, he had someone smell his mouth to see if he's drunk. In one narration, and he also tells him, لَعَلَّكَ قَبَّلْتَ, perhaps you just kissed her. And he says, no, I actually did what a man does with his wife. He's being very specific here. But the idea, especially if someone is going to testify against themselves, they're actually encouraged in court not to testify against themselves. They're encouraged not to testify against themselves. That's why judges would ask someone, أَسَرَقْتَ قُلْ لَا, did you steal? Say no. He's telling him the answer. Don't testify against yourself. It's not like the state is bloodthirsty or anything, but that's the image you get in Hollywood. And that's what a lot of Muslims think, that it's just this barbaric state that wants to see limbs fly, wants to see blood and stuff. But it's a very good deterrent. You know, I always use the example of the drug dealer in Saudi Arabia. What happens to the drug dealer in Saudi Arabia? Yeah, he's executed. That's great. I think we should do that in the United States. And then how many cool drug dealers will be driving their vehicles with their heads cut off? It'd be excellent. Nobody would want to be a drug dealer. Yeah, he's got spinners on his car but no head. Fantastic. Great deterrent, you know? And subhanAllah, these people, they encourage you. There was one drug dealer in New York City. He used to make $60,000 a day from one corner, and he had multiple corners. They say because of this one guy, he was a young guy, he's very popular, he's in jail now. Yeah, because of him, tens of shabab went to jail, because everyone was trying to be like him. But if his head was cut off, nobody would want to be like him. You know, it's a good deterrent. You should consider that here. Maybe you guys in California can start it. Yeah, California, forget about it. So then what happens is people try to shame you and put you in the corner and get you to apologize for the religion of Allah. So our system works. It's been proven to work. It's a good deterrent. And that's how it works. It's scary and it's a deterrent. Yeah? Nobody wants their hand cut off, so it's not worth stealing. But there's also another side to it. There's the side where the taqwa, being God conscious, that's the first reason you don't want to steal. Then the second, for those who don't have enough taqwa, is there's a strong physical deterrent. And that's why it works. That's why in Islamic history there were times when you would leave money and 3 days later you find it there. Yeah? Any of you ever study the laws of luqata, when you find something on the floor? Anybody? Any one of the courses? If you ever study that, you'll never pick up anything off the floor. You don't want to deal with that. It's a huge responsibility, So that's how people work. So, you can use facts to respond to a question or to answer questions. By the way, for the first one, there's another very strange one. I'll just mention it for what it's worth, yeah? And a lot of times, and actually I mostly get this question from Muslim sisters. They'll say, why is it that a man can marry 4 and a woman can't marry 4? Are you serious? Did you even think about this question? Did you even think about it? You know where this question comes from? It comes from the radical feminist movement. See, the feminist movement isn't all bad, And for example, who in here believes that if a man and a woman have equal skills, equal level of education, they should get the same salary? Come on, brothers. Yeah. So now you're all feminist. It's not a bad thing. That's what a feminist is. But you know why we think of it in a bad way? Because there's something called radical feminism. There's liberal feminism, social feminism, there's radical feminism. Radical feminists, these are the crazy ones. These are the ones that, say, why is it his story and not her story? And they actually want to spell women, W-O-M-Y-N, women. They say they want to take the men out of women. Crazy. Take the men out of women. What kind of life would that be? So the point is they're the ones that are crazy. So their goal in life is to be like the man. Whatever the man does, we have to do. He's a bus driver, we're bus drivers. He's a firefighter, we can be firefighters. He was a boxer, we'll box also. So their only goal in life is to be like the man. So if the man can do it, we should be able to do it. And that's always the way they're thinking. They just want to compare themselves to the man. They want to be like the man, as if being a man is such a great thing. It is, brothers, isn't it? Come on. It's great, isn't it?